A very good evening to everyone present here for tonight's broadcast. My name is Brian and I will be your host for tonight. On behalf of the JPO family, we'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone tuning in for tonight's broadcast. We hope that everyone is doing well and staying safe indoors. A friendly reminder to maintain good hygiene at all times and maintain social distancing when heading out. As we'd like to continue improving your experience with us, please help us achieve this by completing the poll that will be published during this broadcast. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask, I would like to redirect you to Mr. Shotaro's online gallery, where questions for him can be left as comments on the images, as you can see on this image shown here. To anyone who is interested in sharing tonight's broadcast, a live feed will be shared on the JPO Facebook page, and a recording of the webinar will also be uploaded onto the page. Tonight's seminar features luthier Shotaro Nishimura, and his topic being In the Footsteps of Stradivarius, luthier Shotaro Nishimura. Unfortunately, due to technical issues, luthier Shotaro will not be joining us tonight. He has, however, provided us with recordings and materials that he would like to share with everyone here tonight. We hope that you will still enjoy tonight's broadcast. Born and raised in Kyoto, luthier Shotaro developed a keen interest in handcrafts and music, which inspired his career choices. During his early years, he traveled to Italy on several occasions to learn and hone his craft. In 2002, he was admitted to the Milan City Violin Production School under various instructors such as Galin Belt, Paola Vecchio, Giorgio Cassani, and Marco Emel Puccinotti, where he studied about various aspects of violin production and varnishing. He then moved to Cremona in 2006 and has continued living there since then. He participated in the Concorso Nazionale di Liutieria Pisonie, or the National Luthieri competition held in Pisonie. A luthieri is a violin maker or instrument maker. He has won several awards for violin, viola, and cello making between the years 2009 and 2011. He also participated in several other luthieri competitions where he accomplished several achievements. Aside from his career as a luthier, he also directed the quartet for Stradivari concert conducted in Singapore back in 2014, where a violin he had constructed was used by Mr. Alexander Sutel, who until 2012 was the concertmaster of the Singapore Symphony Orchestra. Some of the many noteworthy users of his instruments include yesterday's guest, Mr. Koji Morishita, who serves as the concertmaster and soloist of the Osaka Symphony Orchestra. Another noteworthy user is Mr. Shigeru Tachiki, who serves as the president of the Viola and Strings Leaders Association. He also contributed to the academic aspects of music by serving as a principal researcher at the Anima project by the Cremona Violin Museum and the Institute of Acoustics and Chemistry. So without further ado, we will now be showing the recording provided to us by luthier Shotaro, all the way from Cremona, Italy. Please enjoy yourselves.
Hello, I'm Shotaro Nishimura. Now I'm talking from my laboratory in Cremona. I'm a violin maker. So today is the 6th week from lockdown.
Usually this street is busy with lots of cars and bicycles, but now no one's there.
At first, I would like to talk about myself shortly. Already 19 years since I came in Italy. It is more than half of my life I live in Italy. I was born in Kyoto, and I moved to Nagasaki when I was 10, and I started to play the trumpet. Also, I like handicrafts, so it was natural for me that I started to having an interest in instrument making. But unfortunately, trumpet making is quite different from I expected, because the trumpet making is more industry than handcraft. Like when the operator carves the tube and passes the operator, another operator just hammering the bell and passing the operator. So I was a little bit disappointed.
One day, when I was 15, I turned on TV. It started the documentary about a violinist, and it fascinated me immediately. He's David Oistrakh. David Oistrakh is one of the most important violinists in 20th century. I was impressed with his performance, his sound, and especially the beauty of the violin. One day after, casually I flipped over the magazine. I found the interview for the violin maker in Tokyo. So I called him immediately for appointment. 1 week after, I was in Tokyo, and I understand that this is what I wanted. After I came back in Nagasaki, I started to make a violin by myself, asking for advice many violin makers in Japan, Osaka, Kyoto, Fukuoka, and another city. All violin makers that I met, they consider me to go directly in Italy to learn violin making, even if there are many violin making schools in Japan. So when I was 16, I've been on a trip for 1 week in Italy to see where violin was born, to see Stradivarius and other historical violin. It was the turning point of my life. During this period, also I started to learn to play violin, and my teacher's violin changed my life again. I was adolescent, so I was easily influenced by various things. My teacher's violin is Ferdinando Galimberti, early 1900s, from Milan. Galimberti is one of the most important violin makers in Milan school. Until then, I used to see antique violin like a Stradivarius, Guarneri, Amati. So Galimberti's modernity design, sharpness of detail, or very rounded echo, it changed my idea. For this reason, after graduating high school, I decided to go to Milan instead of Cremona. So, what is Milan school? What happened in Milan? Now I want to explain the history of violin shortly. Many of you believe that the violin was born in Cremona, but actually not. The violin was born in somewhere of Italy. Origin of birth is still mystery. The only thing certain is, as can be seen from the paint and the document, the end of 1400s and early 1500s, already violin was frequently played. But in this period, Cremona, it was painted only more primitive instrument instead of violin. So probably Cremona is not city of birth of violin. So why Cremona is known as the city of violin? Because Andrea Amati was born. He is the first violin maker in Cremona. What he done? Before Andrea Amati, the violin was made from general instrument maker or woodworker or violinist own self. The violin was just tools for music. Andrea Amati began to make the violin with elaborately design and sound engineering, and many of his violins were decorated and dedicated to nobility. Andrea Amati developed the violin from tools of music to art crafts. And name Cremona became famous in Europe. After Andrea Amati, his grandchild Niccolo Amati was making many masterpieces, and he educated many important violin makers, including famous Stradivari. Stradivari completed basic structure of violin, continued to challenge all of his life. Stradivari's basic structure is still being succeeded even now. After Stradivari, 1816, Lorenzo Storioni, the last violin maker in Cremona, died. History of violin making in Cremona was terminated, but the violin making has been passed down from Cremona to Milan, Parma, Torino, and another city. At the beginning of 1900, under the influence of the Liberty style, the Milan School was born. Milan School is based on Stradivari's style, redesigned the outline more rounded, a chord more sharp, line of scroll is elegant. In other words, the Milan School's modernizing to meet customers' needs. Before World War II, famous Italian dictator Mussolini, actually he played Stradivari's violin. When he knew that there is no violin maker anymore in Cremona, he ordered to open the violin making school in Cremona. And the Milan violin makers were invited in Cremona as a professor. Then Cremona regained the history of violin making, observing the spirit of Milan School. Regarding the history of violin making, I found that the history of violin making is history of innovation. Innovating the style and structure every era is a responsibility of violin maker. So I thought what I can do. What is my advantage? Unfortunately, I'm not Italian. Even if I live in Italy half of my life and my wife is Italian. For traditional art crafts, it's important the taste of unconscious hand movements. And it's clearly different between Italian and Asian. In this matter, it's a little bit unfavorable for me. But I'm Japanese. There are so many research about the wood structure in Japan. This is my advantage. So I started to research of the acoustics for improve the sound. Now, with another violin makers, we founded the research project with the support from UNESCO. This is a 3D image of my violin for computer simulations. This is analyzed for which frequency, amplitude, for which direction. And this is a violin bridge simulation. I collaborated with a Japanese professor. Now I'm very glad that I can give back something to the history of the violin making. So what I wanted to say is, in base my experience, if you have a dream but you face hardship, please try to think what is the advantage, what you can innovate in that field.
but you can change that field. I'm sure that you can find good strategies to carry on. Now, I want to show you small tips how to care your instrument while you are stuck at home. Every time you pick up your instrument from a case, you have to check the angle of bridge. It must be 90 degrees, the underside. Because when you're tuning the strings, slip the strings for upper side and increase the bridge. If the bridge is not correct angle, it's high risk to fall down or break down. How to check the angle? You can use the business card like this and put the underside in this way, and you can check. For example, this is not the correct angle. So, how to correct the position? At first, put the hand towels under the tailpiece in this way. Okay. And put your hands on the corner of violin and keep the bridge with 3 fingers and move in this way. Now, it's correct angle. When you have to change the strings, at first, the hand towels under the tailpiece as always. And most important thing is you have to change one by one, not all together. Don't remember that when you take off the strings, don't forget to put the pencil on the top of the bridge and the nut in this way. If you have a peg soap, please apply softly and turn 2 or 3 times and whip down the residue softly. Okay. Then take the new strings first. You have to turn the inside twice and begin to turn outside. After tuning, you have to check the angle of the bridge again. Every time after practice, you have to clean up the instrument. Please take microfiber cloth or a soft cloth. It's okay also use t-shirts. Whip down like this way. Before the strings, and tailpiece, and here, this way,
also under the tailpiece. Okay. And please don't forget, also under the fingerboard. And the neck. Okay. For string long life, it's ideally cleaned up with the alcohol. Please take the paper towels and wet a little bit. And clean up softly only strings. Please be careful, the alcohol can damage the varnish easily. Please whip only strings. Thank you for watching. I sincerely hope that this coronavirus infection, it will be settled down soon. Actually, in Italy, there are so many concerts from balcony because we don't forget music and humor. Music and humor is basically human rights. So also you please enjoy the music at home and see you again.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that learning experience as much as I did. I also hope that any strings players and aspiring instrument makers were able to pick up some useful tips regarding the maintenance of your instruments. Moving on, we will now be showing the process of making a violin with pictures, videos, and descriptions provided to us by luthier Shotaro. We hope that you will enjoy this informative video along with the music provided by the violinist Koji Morishita from yesterday's broadcast. Please note that any questions that you may have regarding violin making or the maintenance of your instrument for luthier Shotaro can be left on his online gallery, where a link to it can be found on the JPO Facebook page. Please enjoy the video. I hope everyone enjoyed that video. So once again, many thanks to Mr. Shotaro and Mr. Morishita for providing the help in producing that video. So before we end tonight's program, the JPO would like to acknowledge and thank Mr. Shotaro for all his contributions to our orchestra. To assist the JPO, Mr. Shotaro has dedicated his time to travel all the way from Cremona to Kota Kinabalu on several occasions, and the JPO is very grateful to him for doing so. He's an honorary member of our JPO community as he has been previously involved in some of our annual fundraising concerts. He has also dedicated much of his time to assisting the JPO, particularly in the servicing and maintenance of our instruments, including the JPO Outreach Program instruments. He's also conducted workshops and exhibitions in collaboration with the JPO in the past. This is to educate our members regarding the making and maintenance of our instruments. So once again, on behalf of the JPO, many thanks to Mr. Shotaro. The JPO is honored to have had worked with you, and we look forward to further collaborations with you. So moving on. To end this program on a more lively note, I once again have some small jokes for everyone. So the first joke for the day is, which composer enjoyed tea the most? Tchaikovsky. So what type of music are balloons afraid of? Pop music. So what do you call a musician with problems? A trebled man who has troubles with the bass aches. So I will stop now before I scare everyone else off. So once again, sorry everyone, but we are coming to the end of tonight's broadcast. We would like to remind everyone that our JPO Family Program will be broadcasted every night until further notice. Join us tomorrow with our next guest, Mr. Dennis Loy, who is a program manager from Singapore. The broadcast will be conducted in Chinese, and more details can be found on our Facebook page. A video recording of tonight's broadcast will also be available on the Facebook page, along with past webinars and the soon-to-be broadcasted interviews. So feel free to share both the Zoom webinar registration link and the JPO Facebook page with friends and family. You guys have been an amazing audience, and as a reminder, any questions you have for Luthier Shotaro can be left on his gallery, and he will provide you with the answers you seek. The link to this gallery can be found on the JPO Facebook page, as once again shown here. We from the JPO family wishes that everyone stays safe and healthy as we face this crisis together. I will now be leading a prayer to end tonight's program. Please pray in whatever faith you believe in regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. We pray that everyone in the world continues to stay strong and in surviving through these difficult times, and that a solution to the virus will soon be found. We pray for the safety of everyone as we come to the end of the 6th week of the MCO. We pray for the safety and well-being of the people starting work again in the upcoming week. We pray for the continued safety and morale of the frontliners who are facing what is probably the most challenging times of their careers, so that they may continue to provide for those in need. So once again, we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. So good night, everyone, and we hope to see you all at the same time again tomorrow. Bye.